Well, Malawi has announced that it will close its borders for 14 days and restrict public gatherings to 100 people. This follows a new surge in cases of the coronavirus. After nearly 2 months without new positive cases, Malawi recorded 46 new infections yesterday, and this brought the total number of infections to more than 6,200, with more than 185 deaths reported so far. Gospel Kazako is Malawi's information minister, and he joins us now via Zoom from the capital, Lilongwe. Minister, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So, a drastic step, I guess, but one that needs to be taken given this resurgence of this virus, especially since you had 2 months without new infections.
Yeah, in Malawi, we were experiencing zero numbers, and all of a sudden, numbers started to rise, and we had 35, then, we went up to over 40, and that created a concern, and we had to meet, and we had to discuss to ensure that we save our people, because the government's priority is to ensure that the people are protected from any danger, and in this case, the danger is the coronavirus, the COVID-19.
Is there any indication where this resurgence has come from? Is it a particular hotspot? Has it been imported from neighboring countries? Because you've looked to closing the borders as a solution. Yeah,
I think it's very clear that most of the cases that have impacted on our rise are coming from neighboring countries. All the neighboring countries are responsible. There isn't any particular country. There are countries around Malawi, countries that surround Malawi, and that's what we have decided to put in check. So people traveling from either Zambia, Tanzania, South Africa, Mozambique, and of course the world at large will not be allowed to get into Malawi. Our borders are closed. What is happening is we're only allowing Malawians through our road borders and of course through our airports, but all foreigners will not be allowed to get into Malawi. In fact, those Malawians will be coming into Malawi are supposed to have a certified COVID-19 document that has to be original, and it has to bear all the certification that this is indeed a true certification. Once they have that, we'll have to check it and then see the next step. The next step, of course, is if they are negative, then we'll be able to let them in. If they are not, then we'll quarantine them, and we'll certainly ensure that we get to give them attention.
This isn't the first time you've closed your borders. The last time you did it have the desired effect? I suppose it must have if you had no new infections for 2 months.
Yeah, it did. We strongly believe that that's why we're able to make a lot of progress. That's why we're able to start reducing our cases. As I said, there were days that we had zero, no case at all. And we strongly believe that the masking up, the washing of hands, and the ensuring that people are paying attention to matters distance, I think those things did help. So yeah, now we kind of softened a bit and then allowed people to start coming into Malawi, and especially now that many people are coming into Malawi for Christmas, for tourism. Malawi is a very, very beautiful country, a very beautiful country. We have beautiful everything, the best of the best, and people tend to flock to come into Malawi. But this time around, we're not just looking at the money, we're not just looking at that economy, but we're also looking at the lives of our people. So the lives of our people are a priority. This is why we are not allowing foreigners to come into Malawi. And we're very strong about it. very, very decided and very, very solid about that decision. We are not allowing any foreigner to come into Malawi until the next 2 weeks.
All right. I mean, this is a peak season, isn't it? And I think Malawi, around 7% of tourism contributes to the GDP, so it's a significant chunk of employment and the country's revenues. Can you afford to have such a, because 14 days in the world of tourism is a long time, can you afford to do that? Because some people might just not come after that.
Yeah, you must know that every economy is dependent on people. And now without people, you can't have an economy. So we might choose resources like money, but if all our people are dead, certainly that will not be a plausible economy. So we have chosen to die a little and make sure that our people are alive. In any case, these are the people who also help us to build a better economy. But if we choose money, and then we let our people, thousands of them, get killed by the pandemic, I think as a government, I don't think we're not looking at that as the best decision. So the decision has been made. Yes, the economy will be affected, but whether government or whether anything, any economy has to have people world over. I mean, if there is no people, or if there are no people, certainly you cannot be talking of having an economy. So yeah, we have made that decision, and we're comfortable with it.
Well, one thing that I did notice as well is that local tourism has grown significantly. Numbers to Lake Malawi National Park, for example, 8,000 in the last year, and before that, they were only peaking at around 3,000. So Malawians really now embracing this warm heart of Africa. Will they still be allowed to travel during this 2 weeks of international lockdown?
No, Malawians are allowed to travel, but wherever they go, they should not gather and make up a crowd of 100. It's up to 100 people that are allowed. Anything over that, it's against the restriction. So yeah, Malawians are free to go wherever they can go, but they should ensure that they are not passing the number 100. We are restricting to the number 100. That's the decision.
All right. Minister Kazako, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and we wish you and your people the very best in dealing with this pandemic. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that's Malawi's Information Minister, Gospel Kazako. He's also the government spokesperson, telling us about Malawi's decision to shut its international borders by 14 days, 2 weeks. And it's surrounded by 3 countries, as you might know, but no international flights in. Lake Malawi, of course, it's key tourist resort, and people will not be allowed to travel into the country. They're pretty adamant about that. They say that about 6,000 people have been infected, but experts say it could be as much as 80,000. So it'll be interesting to see how this story plays out.